on your iPad. Once you've dragged this file on there, tap Preview. That's it. So when you preview this file, you tap on that keynote and it opens up a keynote that allows you to navigate around those slides. Are you ready to drop in a little movie clip? We're going to create a new chapter called Chapter 4. So go onto the plus menu, select Chapter. Chapter 4 will appear, and I want you to rename that chapter to Pathology. In your Chapter 4 folder, you'll see the cover for that chapter. It's called Chapter 4. Drag and drop that onto your page. So we're creating a new chapter now. We're titling the chapter Pathology, and we're dragging and dropping Chapter 4 image. Yeah. I want you to also add a blank page to that chapter. Under Pages, choose Blank. Then in your Chapter 4 folder, you'll see a file called iMovie. Before you drag iMovie in, you need to go to your widget and choose Media. This allows you to play a video clip in your book. I then drag over that movie file called iMovie, and I can remove both the title and the background. And media, yep. Once you've previewed the file onto your iBook, tap on that video image and your video will start playing. It only goes for about 20 seconds or so. Okay, if you look at my screen for a second, there are some controls you can attach to that video clip. So here's the video clip in iBooks Author that has been highlighted. If I come over to my inspector, you can see a tab called Interactions. If I tap Interactions, this allows me to repeat the video. So I can just have the movie looping if I wish. I can also select a poster frame. This is the image that appears before you start the movie. So I can scroll along and select a section of the movie I want to appear as the still image. So there's two controls you can use on your movies. I notice there's morning tea available, so what we might do is once you've finished that little movie one, before I go on to chapter 5, we'll take just a 10-minute break, have something to eat and drink, and then we'll come back to our desk to finish this book off. All right? Thank you. All right, let's make a start. Before we leave chapter 4 and go to chapter 5, I want to fix up a few things with this chapter. First of all, you notice that the graphic for chapter 4 is not quite filling the entire page. So we can stretch that graphic. So you can see just here is not filling the page. So I select the graphic, so I click on the graphic. Once it's been selected, I can just drag, and then I can move the graphic up as well. So just that's increased the size of the graphic. But there's also this line across here. You can try and delete that line, but you can't delete it because it's locked down. We need to unlock that line. So I come across to the line, and I click on it, and you can see the little handles here. I just lock it first. Under arrange, you can see unlock. Once I've unlocked the actual line, I can just press the delete key, and the line is deleted. The same with the other line just here. That's also locked. You can see a little cross there. If I select unlocked, I can now press delete, and that line's deleted as well. The reason why those lines are there, because it's part of the template, and they've locked down certain elements on that template. But you can unlock those lines and delete them. Okay, let's move on to chapter 5. So create a new chapter. We all know how to do that now. Up to the top there, chapter, select the chapter. So it's automatic labels at number 5. And we're going to call this quiz. We can delete the text, and we can also delete those lines as well. Unlock. Delete. Under your chapter 5 folder, you can see a file named iChapter 5. Drag that onto your chapter. Whoop. It's one of these little fiddly things. There you go. And you can stretch this image as well. So hopefully you end up with an image like I've got on my screen. We've retitled Chapter 5 Quiz, and we've dropped a graphic with a big question mark there. Rightio, let's add a page to that chapter. So we're going to go insert pages, and we'll just insert a blank page. Now what we want to do is just do that quickly, add a page to your chapter. We're then going to add a widget called Review. You can see it, Review, there. This is a very important widget. This allows you to quiz your students, to create your own multi-choice question quiz, MCQ, drag an image, label an image. This is a quizzing widget. So just select that widget and drag it onto, just select that widget and it will appear on your blank page. What I want you to look at is the screen for a couple of minutes. I want to go through this widget because it's an important widget. It automatically comes up with some multiple choice questions, total of 4. What if we only want 2, like a yes or no? Over to the right here, you can see the number 4. I can select, say, 2, and now I've only got 2, so I can have it true or false. Or I can select up to 6 possible choices. So I'm just going to select 3. You then type your question at the top there, and you tap on this and type in your possible answers. The one that is highlighted with a green tick is the correct answer. So if number 3 was the correct, I will then click just here, and that's, if the student selects number 3, then I'll get it right. If they select 1 or 2, they'll get a red cross. So you need to add the text in, you need to select the answer that is correct. I still haven't finished. There are many types of quizzing. Down the bottom here is the little plus symbol. I can tap on the plus, and I've got some choices. See, it says multi-choice, and this is telling me that I've got a space for a graphic, and I can have some multi-choice questions. This is telling me I've got a graphic on the side, a long image, multiple choice only, graphic and multiple choice, graphic and multiple choice. These are graphics only. They need to select a box for the correct answer. This one here is they drag one of these to the image, and this is thumbnails. They drag the thumbnails. So they can drag a label or they can drag a thumbnail. So what we're going to do is choose this one here. Multi-choice, so third one down. I select that, and now I get this box like so. So I want you to do that for me. I want you to add that particular type of multi-choice question to that blank page. And you can enlarge that graphic as well. So drag the corners to make the actual image itself bigger. And then all you need to do is, there is an image called eyebulb. Grab eyebulb onto that palette just there. So I'm going to drag that graphic over and place it on top. Has everyone done that? Yep. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 possible choices. I only want 3, not 4. So come to this palette here, click on the 4 and select 3. So I've just got 3 possible answers. And I will type these on the screen so you can see the answers. First one I'm going to type is Sakura. Next one is going to be Iris. Next one is going to be Pupil. And the question is going to be the hole that allows light to enter the retina is called the question mark. So the hole that allows light to enter the retina is called the question mark. They've got a choice of 3. We know the correct answer is pupil, so we need to click on that, because that's the correct answer. Let me just enlarge that a bit bigger. That's up to 100%. Once you've finished doing that, you can then preview that on your iPad and test it out, see if it works. Have you done that? Completed? Everyone, yes? Okay. We're getting close to 12 o'clock. We'll be packing up for lunch at 12. Is that good? Hungry? So let's just have a look at our book. What have we done in that session? That basically 2 hours or 2.5 hours, what have we achieved? So if I go back to the beginning here, we've learned how to add a cover to our book and text. Chapter 1, we created a new chapter. We embedded in some images. We also learned how to make a graphic background transparent. For chapter 2, these pages here, you can just press the delete key and it will delete that page. For chapter 2, we created a little interactive label diagram, adding titles and text. Second page, we brought in a number of images, so created a gallery of images. Thirdly, we embedded a 3D eye widget. For chapter 3, we added a keynote presentation, so you can take your PowerPoint presentation, convert it to keynote and drop it into your book. Chapter 4, we embedded a little movie clip. Chapter 5, we created a question or a review widget to create a question. So you can see we've gone through a number of different aspects on different types of content that will be engaging, interactive book, which our students could use as a study guide. The final phase of this is how do we actually distribute this book to our students. So we've created it. So what I would do then, I would save this file. File save. Then I go to File, Export. You can do this, just File, Save, File, Export. And it allows me a number of choices. I can save this as an iBook file. This is the file you send to students. You could email it to them, you could put it on your Google Drive, whatever you like to do. Once the student copies that file to their iPad, they tap on it, it will then load into iBooks and it will stay there in their bookshelf. or you can save it as a PDF. You could print out this book. Finally, just save it as a text, so you can use it in Microsoft Word or whatever you like. But by keeping it in the iBooks format, all that interactivity will be there. You would lose that interactivity if it was a PDF document. Is there any questions? So that was fairly simple. Yeah? Has that sparked your mind to think about some content that you could convert to a little book and add some interaction? Even if you just add text and images and some quizzing, that alone would be good. You don't have to go and create all these video clips. You can easily create some interactive diagrams like we did naming the sclera and the retina. You could easily create some quizzing on the content that you've added, so the diagrams and the text that you've added. Save it as a book, then send it to the students. Any questions? No questions? Okay. All right, so we're getting very close to 12 o'clock. So I will just wander around. If I've got any questions, just call me over or call Mario over. What I might do just before we go is show you how to delete that book. You want to remove it from the iPad, for example. If you look at the screen for a couple of minutes, you don't have to delete your book, you can leave it there. If you want to delete that book that you created, all you need to do is tap on Edit on your iPad. If I tap on Edit, you then tap on the book you want to delete, and a little tick appears. So the tick, if I press Delete, that will then delete that book.